Hi there, this is Angel Rivera, the Itinerant Librarian, and recently here at Hutchins we just got a bunch of new books, and as I often do, I go look at the books that came in and I pick out some of them that I would like to read down the road. They're for my TBR list, and I got 5 books that I would like to highlight on various topics, including a graphic novel or comic. We'll talk about that. So let's just go ahead and go down the line. The first one is related to work, and that is Information Literacy and Social Media by Michelle Santamaria and Nicole Fenenstiel. I know I butchered that name and I apologize for that. This book is about teaching our students how to become flexible and accurate evaluators of information so they can be adaptable and give them the tools for tackling, challenges online. This book provides librarians and non-librarians alike ways to teach and learn with social media. That's part of the reason I picked that up, because of the social media interest. Here, to be honest, we don't do that much on social media that we probably could be doing. We have a Facebook page that I have mentioned once or twice in my social media that I wish we would get rid of, but that's because I don't necessarily like Facebook very much, but my library insists on keeping it, so it means I have to put the work in, because I'm the one who does some of the social media for it. And I know we also have an Instagram, but we don't do that much with that either. But in classes like general studies, I often get questions about uses of social media and information literacy, so that's why I order the book. As soon as I read it, I'll have a review of it. Okay, book number 2 is How to Fight a War by Mike Martin. Here's the front page. Let me give you a little bit of the description, if I can find it. Here we go. According to the publisher, How to Fight a War is an indispensable guide to understanding modern warfare, especially the decisions made by politicians and generals, both good and bad. Has any war in history gone according to plan? Monarchs, dictators, elected leaders alike have a dismal record on military decision-making, from over-ambitious goals to disregarding intelligence, terrain, or enemy capabilities. Conflict scholar and former soldier Mike Martin takes the reader through the hard, elegant logic to fighting a conclusive interstate war that solves geopolitical problems and reduces future conflict. In cool and precise prose, he outlines how to orchestrate military forces from infantry to information and from strategy to tactics. This is a book that should be read by everyone seeking to understand today's wars, as well as those wishing to lead us through the coming decades of conflict. So if the topic of warfare interests you in any way, shape, or form, this may be for you. The book again is How to Fight a War by Mike Martin. Next. This is one that may be timely. Maybe some of you folks may want to read it during this election cycle. The book is Why Does Everything Have to Be About Race? 25 Arguments That Won't Go Away by Keith Boykin. This is the front page of the book. As some of you may know, there's a whole arsenal of popular gotchas. Things like, the Civil War was about state rights. It's not about slavery. Yeah, right. Or you're just playing the race card. Okay, and those arguments keep coming up again and again every time somebody wants to talk about race. So this book is here to help you deal with that and deal with those people. The author sets the record straight, explains why such all-too-common assertions are simply not true. He combines history, pop culture, and stories from his life to lay out the truth about anti-black racism and white supremacy in America. So if that's of interest, this may be a book for you. I know here this will probably be a popular selection, and I wouldn't be surprised if at least one general studies class picks it up. The book again is Why Does Everything Have to Be About Race by Keith Boykin. There we go. Technically, this book falls under my moratorium of politics, social issues, and activist stuff, but given my line of work here, I'm making an exception for it. So, there we go. Next is one that I've been wanting to read for a while. And we finally got it here. And where the heck, there it is. The book is Ruining Their Crops on the Ground: The Politics of Food in the United States from the Trail of Tears to School Lunch by Andrea Freeman. There's the front page. And according to the publisher, this is the first and definitive history on the use of food in American law and politics as a weapon of conquest and control. It's basically like the fast food nation for the Black Lives Matter era. And it takes you from the 1789, when food was used to subjugate the indigenous tribes, by George Washington basically telling the troops to ruin the crops on the ground and prevent them to planting more. So yes, destroying sources of food is a form of warfare. And it takes us all the way to today's school lunches. If this interests you, and I finding myself interested, you want to read then how Ruining Their Crops on the Ground. Again, the author is, if I can find it, Andrea Freeman of the Metropolitan. And last but not least, we got a few new graphic novels and comics, including a few titles published by Image Comics, which are crossovers between G.I. Joe and the Transformers. And one of them that I picked up this time is this. It's Cobra Commander, Volume 1, Determined to Rule the World. Right there. And this book aims to do the following. Who's Cobra Commander? Where does he come from? And what horrors is he planning to unleash? This is a world where Cobra, the organization, has not formed yet. So this is the rise of Cobra Commander, and I'm guessing eventually what becomes Cobra. So sounds interesting, sounds cool, not terribly long, something fun to read. The book again is Cobra Commander, Volume 1, Determined to Rule the World. There's the cover, published by Image Comics. And there's 5 books that I'm hoping to read soon that just arrived this month. If you find anything interesting and you actually read it, let me know. If you read any of those, or if you have any other reading suggestions, feel free to send them my way as well. Thank you for watching, and in the words of Walter Mercado, mucha paz, mucho amor. Thank you. Goodbye.